Welcome to the video lecture series for the subject project report writing. This is the second video which covers essential grammar and vocabulary for writing project reports and research papers. Before starting, let's just remember what is writing skill. Writing skills mean expressing your ideas clearly in written form with clarity and accuracy. Also, the written content needs to be logically organized and it should be audience tailored one so that your writing can look more professional and reliable. For all these qualities, writing skill require a strong foundation of vocabulary, grammar, punctuation and sentence structure. The grammar and vocabulary are the most important parts of good writing as they directly affect the quality of your writing. They are essential because it prevents errors that leads to misunderstanding, make the written content more precise and ensures clear communication. A rich vocabulary lets your writing be more specific without repetitions. And lastly, grammar makes your written content more reliable among audience. Next, let's start with the grammar at the most fundamental level, the parts of speech, which includes noun, verb, adjective and adverb. Nouns are simply names of people, names of places, names of things or even names of ideas. In the example sentence given here for noun, my sister went to the store. Here we have two nouns, one is sister and other one is store, because it is the name of a person and name of a place. Next is verb, it is the action performed by the noun. In the example sentence, here went is the verb because it is the action performed by the noun. In this case, it is sister. Next is adjective, it is the word that describes the noun. In the example here, my sister went to the nearest store. Here nearest is the word that describes something about the noun, which is store. Next is the adverb, it is the word that describes the verb. In the example, my sister quickly went to the nearest store. So here the word quickly is the adverb which says something about the verb went. So adverb is the word that describes or says something about the verb. Next, in the parts of speech, next we have we can see pronoun, preposition, conjunction and article. A preposition, a pronoun, it's a word that replaces the noun in the sentences. Here noun is sister. She is the word that replaces sister while we have to again use the noun very shortly in the nearest place. So here she is the pronoun. Next is a preposition. It is a word that describes the location, direction or position of a noun. In the sentence, my sister went to the store. Here to is the preposition. It connects went and store and it shows the direction. The other examples are on the table, under the tree. Here on and under are the prepositions. Next is conjunction. Conjunction, it is the word that connects two ideas or two sentences. In this example, we have two sentences. One is my sister went to the store and the other sentence is she asked about the new comic book. To connect these two sentences, we used and, so it is a conjunction word. And finally, in the parts of speech, article. Articles are words that define a noun as specific or unspecific. There are two types of articles. One is definite and the other one is indefinite. For example, I saw a dog in the park means referring to any dog, not a specific one. So where in the place where we are not specifically saying, we use a or an. In case if you say like, I saw the dog in the park, here observe, I saw the dog in the park, which means you are talking about a specific dog. It may be your pet dog, or you are searching for your pet dog. So here we see an example for parts of speech. It is a content taken from a project report. Here we marked each word to indicate which parts of speech it belongs to. Pause the video and have a look at this example. If you misuse the basic parts, your writing can become unclear no matter how strong your research is. So next is parts of sentence. The sentences are built with subject, predicate, object, class and phrase. Next, we see the parts of a sentence. The sentences are built with subject, predicate, object, class and phrase. The subjects are nothing but a noun or pronoun, but not all the nouns or pronouns are subject. See, in this example sentence, my sister went to the store across the street. Here we can see three nouns: sister, store and street. But the entire sentence is talking about my sister. So here the sentence explains about or describes about something on sister. So here sister is termed as subject. Whereas predicate, it is the part of a sentence that explains more about the subject. So here subject is my sister. The remaining part of the sentence is explaining about my sister. Okay. So went to the store across the street. This part is termed as predicate. Next comes the object. An object is a sentence which is the noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. Understand? It receives the action of the verb. Again, object is also a noun, but here it receives the action of a verb, means in this example sentence we gave is the verb. So here book is the object, whereas it receives the action, that is gave is an action, it receives the action of the verb. So book is the object. It tells us who or what is affected by the action. In this case, book is affected by the action gave. In the example here, sister and book are both nouns, but book is the noun that receives the action gave, so book is an object. Then what is direct object and indirect object? In the sentence, my sister gave me a book, sister, me, book are all nouns. Object is the one that receives the action from the subject, that we know. But here two objects are there, one is me and another one is book. In this, book is the direct object which receives the main effect of the verb gave, and me is the indirect object with secondary effect, because me is the one who receives the book, but we can frame the sentence as my sister gave a book. Okay, so book is the direct object with secondary effect. So here book is what was given, so it is the direct object. Me is the one to whom it was given to, so it is the indirect object. Next is class and phrase. Class, it's a group of words that conveys a complete thought with a subject and a verb. So in this example, the algorithm converges quickly. See, we can also say it converges quickly, like that we can say. But a complete sentence should have a subject and verb. So the algorithm converges quickly is the perfect sentence. Next is phrase. The group of words that doesn't convey a complete thought and is missing either a noun or a verb. See here, converging quickly is a phrase. See the difference? So, the group of words which can miss either noun or verb is phrase, whereas class requires the subject and verb, it should be a complete sentence. So, class and matters, phrases are also matters. A class contains both subject and verb, whereas a phrase contains may have either noun or verb. Next is the types of sentences. In English, there are 4 types of sentences: declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. But in research writing, we mainly use declarative sentences because they state facts and results. For example, the proposed method reduces energy consumption by 15% compared to the baseline. This is a declarative sentence. It is factual and professional. You may use interrogative sentences occasionally in the introduction to raise research questions such as how can vehicular networks reduce latency in dynamic environments? Whereas imperative sentences are very rare, but you may see them in instructions to the readers, like consider the following case study, like that. Exclamatory sentences are almost never used in academic papers because they are too emotional. So we don't use exclamatory mostly in research or project reports. Let's focus on some grammar rules that are especially important in project reports and research papers. First, sentence structure. Every sentence must have a proper structure with the subject, verb, and object. See, in this example, the system analyzes data and generates reports. We can write its fragment like the system, data, and generates. So this is meaningless where we miss the verb, just data. So it became meaningless. So the sentence structure should all contain subject, verb, and object, and we should not fragment it. The second is check subject verb agreement. The subject and verb must agree in number, that is singular or plural. In this example, see, the results show a significant improvement. Observe, results show. Whereas the results shows a significant improvement is wrong. Here we have not followed the subject verb agreement. The next is tense consistency, which is also very important. When describing what you did, use past tense. For example, we conducted experiments and we analyzed the results. Observe, we used conducted in past tense and also analyzed also in past tense. So the correct form is we conducted experiments and we analyzed the results. So both conducted and analyzed are past tense. See, here is an example. The team collected data and analyzed the results. So collected and analyzed are both past tense. Whereas the team collected data and analyzes the result. Here team consistency is not followed. So team consistency is very important. We can give another example. For example, while stating general truths or findings that remain valid, use present tense. For example, machine learning is widely used in prediction tasks. This is a truth. So wherever we say, whenever we say, we used to say it in present tense. So mixing tenses within the same paragraph confuses the reader. Next comes the punctuation. Punctuation is another area where small errors change meanings. See, in this example, the project has 3 phases: planning, testing, and implementation. If you write it like this, the project has 3 phases: planning, testing, implementation, this becomes meaningless. So to make it more sensible and meaning, The usage of semicolon and comma makes it looks good and can be understand makes it understandable. And another example is, if you write, the results were significant, however, they need validation. This is different from, the results were significant, semicolon, however, they need validation. Both the meanings are different. Comes modifiers. Modifiers must be placed correctly. See, in this example, the team used accurate statistical methods. Whereas if it is right like this, the team used statistical methods accurate. So the placement of the word accurate makes the meaning difference. Therefore, a single misplaced word changes the meaning. And finally, pronouns must be clear. Avoid vague references like it was tested and it was successful. So again I repeat, it was tested and it was successful. The reviewers will ask what exactly was tested, what was successful. So always name your subject clearly. So we can write like it was tested and the results was successful. Here is another example. The manager reviewed the report and she approved it. But if we write like this, the manager reviewed the report and they approved it. Here, pronoun doesn't agree with the singular manager. So, if we say the managers reviewed the report and they approved it is right. But whereas we here say manager. So, we should use either she, he here. Next, we see the importance of vocabulary in writing skills. Vocabulary is very important because it helps us express ideas very clearly and understand what we read. It helps to clearly convey our thoughts and ideas and emotions. Vocabulary is also called as lexicon, which means the complete set of words a language has, or otherwise the words a person knows and uses. So it's called as lexicon. So a strong vocabulary is the basic pillar of effective writing and clear communication in professional forums. Vocabulary can be divided into different types based on how we use and understand the words. First is speaking vocabulary, which includes the words we actually use when we talk every day. Next is listening vocabulary, which is the words we understand when we hear them in conversation, lectures, or in any media. Next is the reading vocabulary, which is the main way we build vocabulary. Since the more we read, the more new ideas we learn. Next comes writing vocabulary, which is the set of words we use to express our ideas in writing. Apart from these, there is active vocabulary, which refers to the words we regularly use in speaking and writing. For example, I go to college every day. Contains all commonly used words. Next comes passive vocabulary, which includes the words we understand, but we don't often use ourselves for daily usage. For example, meticulous, which means very careful. And another example is quintessential, which means perfect example. Perplexed, which means confused. So these are the words we know, but we don't use it in our day-to-day life. Next is final vocabulary, which is more personal or a collection of words that reflect and justify our actions, beliefs, and way of life. For example, honesty is the foundation of my life. Here, honesty is the part of their final vocabulary, which expresses our emotion or belief. So, final vocabulary is the one which is used to express our beliefs or the way of life, is called as final vocabulary. Together, these types of vocabulary shape how we communicate, learn, and express ourselves. Here are some guidelines for improving vocabulary. To improve vocabulary, the first step is to develop a reading habit, because reading exposes us to new words in real context. Using a dictionary or thesaurus helps us to learn synonyms and antonyms, making our word which makes us to use richer words. Playing word games like Scrabble is another fun way to expand vocabulary. We can also use flashcards or apps to memorize words systematically. And finally, here is the most important step, which is use new words in conversation, which reinforces and makes them part of our active vocabulary. Here are some essential vocabulary for project reports. When writing project reports, use the right vocabulary to make your work clear and professional. Always use technical terms from your respective field, but define them when first introduced. For example, if you use V2V communication, you need to first expand in the first usage vehicle to vehicle communication. Later we can use it as V2V in short form. So next is choose precise words instead of vague terms like things or stuffs, but you need to precise words wherever needed. Use transitional phrases such as however, therefore to connect ideas smoothly. Strong action verbs like analyzed, implemented make your writing more powerful. Include academic vocabulary like methodology, synthesize, or corroborate. Uh, Finally, avoid repeating the same words. Use synonyms to keep your writing concise and engaging. For example, while writing the literature review part, we used to say a particular reference explains about. We need not to say wherever we refer a reference, we need not to say explains. We can say it as deals with, handles with, focuses on, like that. So throughout this video we have seen the essential grammar and vocabulary which is required for writing project reports and research papers.